CP24 weather.
For our first look at weather, we're joined by CP24's weather specialist, Anika Elliott.
It's all about promoting dog ownership and appropriate dog ownership, this being Our Dog Week, standing for Responsible Dog Owner Groups. And we're at Trinity Bellwoods Park for the Canadian Kennel Club Our Dog Walk around Trinity Bellwoods Park. Lots of supporters here. We've got Iams on location providing nutrition tips. We've got Pet Secure. You can also come down and get pet first aid demonstrations. Also your canine good neighbor testing happening here. Toronto Animal Services also on site supporting and helping to promote responsible dog ownership. And so far the weather has been cooperating for the most part. We will have a little bit of wet weather push in later on this afternoon. Doppler 24 radar shows the activity happening already around the region. We're looking at a little bit of cloud cover and likely some rain later on this afternoon. Coming up in the full forecast, we'll delve into that 5-day, let you know whether or not this weekend is going to be a washout. So far, so good. We'll keep our fingers crossed, and I'll tell you when things will really cool down. That's coming up.
CP24 traffic.
For a live look at traffic, Jamie Goodfreund joins us now. And how's it looking out there, Jamie?
Well, we have some congestion that's starting to build on a couple of our routes. We'll start by showing you the Gardiner Expressway eastbound. We've got a stalled vehicle, possibly some car trouble, just off to the right shoulder. If you just got off the 427 and starting to make your way into the city, as well as you head eastward on the Gardiner Expressway, you might experience some congestion approaching Jameson, and as you approach actually the Spadina exit, you'll notice that getting off at Spadina, a little bit of a wait, nothing unusual for that exit, but other than that, traffic is moving okay in both directions. The top end of the DVP 404, here's a live shot at Shepherd. You can see that traffic is really heavy getting onto the Don Valley Parkway, and we still have those delays pretty much from the 401, from backed up on the 404 at Shepherd down to about south of Winford. Northbound traffic, just a little bit of volume approaching York Mills, and right across the 401, things are shaping up great. No major problems on the 401, but we do have closures. We'll get into that in just a bit. Back to you.
Thanks, Jamie. The word out of Queen's Park these days is that Premier Dalton McGuinty is set to make changes to his cabinet, and reports say Toronto's mayoral hopeful George Smitherman will be dropped in the shuffle.
I want to say, Mr. Speaker, that
The Toronto Star says the move is coming as Smitherman faces more and more questions about his political future, and it looks like he could be shuffled out in the week before the legislature's Thanksgiving break. Earlier this month, the Deputy Premier had said he was considering running for mayor here in Toronto, but sources have said he was not planning to formally jump into the race until he finished rolling out the Green Energy Act. So what will the race for mayor look like? Well, as it stands this morning, the list of potential candidates has some big names on it. And aside from Smitherman looking to throw his hat into the ring, here's what we know so far. A lot of people have been looking at John Tory, but he's had mixed results in the political ring. He lost the mayoral race in 2003 to David Miller. After taking over leadership of the provincial Tories on the heels of that campaign, he failed to lead his party to an election win. Then you have the outspoken city councillor Karen Stintz, who is also said to be thinking about running for mayor. 2 men are in hospital with serious injuries, and one is facing charges after a head-on crash last night in Markham. Police say it happened just before midnight on 9th Line, north of Steeles. The 2 drivers involved, a 25-year-old man and an 18-year-old Markham man, are both in Sunnybrook. The 18-year-old is charged with impaired driving. A late-night shooting in the Leslie and Lawrence area has left a man with a bullet wound to the foot and police hunting for suspects. Police say the 50-year-old victim was shot after confronting 2 suspects in a nearby break-and-enter. He had heard a call for help and saw 2 men emerge from a house. He was dialing 911 and telling the 2 to stop when one of them pulled out a gun and fired. The man's injuries are described as non-life-threatening. Well, still no sign of a missing Forest Hill teen despite an aerial search for her. Toronto police enlisted the help of the OPP to get an overview of Earl Bales Park at Bathurst and Shepherd for any sign of 17-year-old Maria Maknishvili. The park is located about 5 kilometers north of Forest Hill Collegiate. That's where Mariam was last seen nearly 2 weeks ago. The chopper is equipped with infrared technology, but apparently found no trace of the girl. Dramatic video next of a smoky boat fire in Keswick. This is amateur video of the blaze, which is blamed on an explosion. It was sent in by a viewer to My Breaking News. It happened at Crates Marina. Flames spread to a second boat, but fire crews managed to safely put them out. Luckily, no one was injured. Remember, if you have dramatic video, we want to